It's everything wrong with Obi-Wan Kenobi. Guys, this is independent comic book artist, writer, and director Greg Weich from BeyondComics.tv. Where do I get started? As great as it is to see some of the cast back for this series, there are real glaring mistakes here that I want to point out, and I want to get your opinion to see if you agree. I don't understand Vader can make this fire happen. Then he puts it out using his force power to force the fire out. Then the girl comes in, shoots the blaster, right, that reignites the fire on the ground, and then suddenly now he can't put it out anymore? What's going on here? How is it that now he can't cross the fire? Now he can't use his force power to put the fire out a second time? It doesn't make sense. That's the first problem. Now, before I get to the other problems, this would have been a perfect spot to solve the problem with why Obi-Wan Kenobi looks different. Because this is only supposed to take place around 7 to 10 years before A New Hope, Star Wars, the film, gets released, right? So, you know, it's a perfect opportunity when he's thrust into the fire to have Obi-Wan's face burnt. And then during reconstruction and bandaging, when they take it off on the last episode, he looks like the wonderful Alec Guinness who played the original Obi-Wan Kenobi in A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. So that would explain why the face structure changed in such a short period of time. Because again, Luke and Leia are supposed to be about 10 years old in this series, and then A New Hope, Star Wars, basically supposed to take place 7 to 10 years later, to my understanding. So that's a real short amount of time for his whole face to suddenly look like Alec Guinness, you know, from Ewan McGregor's. So that's one idea that I thought they could have implemented. Now let me ask you a question here. How the hell was this guy killed and then comes back? How did the Grand Inquisitor suddenly come back? They didn't explain how he was brought back to life. He was just brought back to life. So you'd really have to do a deep dive to understand about his ability to regenerate, but they should have explained that for most viewers who don't know in the show. Another thing that's kind of driving me bananas about this is how is it that she gets stabbed by Vader, killed, basically, but not killed. She's actually okay. She recovers, she heals, yet Qui Gon Jinn was stabbed the same way in episode 1 and he's dead when Darth Maul killed him. Why is it that he's dead and Reva's not? How is it that she's able to actually survive that? They don't explain that either. Those are glaring errors. There's another big error too. Wait till you hear this one. See if you guys can guess what I'm about to say. And here it is, guys. Please explain this to me. Why is it that Vader has the ability to use his force power to suck the ship down? Right here, he's able to suck that ship down. Look at him fighting and fighting and fighting to shut. He's forcing, using the force power. Oh, he's bringing the ship down. But hold on a second. Watch what's about to happen. As he crushes this ship down and he's using his force power, boom, it lands. Oh my God, he opens it up. But what is it? There's nobody there. And guess what? Boom, the other ship goes. It's out, but he can't use his force power to stop that ship? Why not? He just stopped the other one. Why can't he stop this one? Makes no sense. So that is what breaks the reality of it for me. It doesn't make any sense. I hate it when they make these big gaping holes, these terrible errors in movies that everybody with logic can understand doesn't fit, doesn't make sense. Something's wrong. I don't know what to say. So that's something that really bothered me a lot about that. Also, the confrontation here, that was cool to see. I still feel everything could have been done better. I just feel the whole series was okay, formulaic, trying to force, you know, fit scenes in, a little bit of, you know, kind of trying to please the fans and stuff. That's nice, a little bit pandering, that's okay, I guess. But, you know, the way that it was done seemed too obvious, too forced. Also, they keep having them refight. There's no build-up to it. So, you know, there should have just been one epic fight and that was it in this thing. And it should have just been the most incredible fight ever. And this was an okay battle. It was an okay fight. It was decent. It wasn't incredible. How do we know? Because Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau already proved what a perfect series could be with Mandalorian, and both of those seasons were flawless. So that's why I feel like they should be in charge of Star Wars from now on moving forward, because you're getting this kind of washed down, watered down version of Star Wars. It's okay, it's all right, but I'm saying these are beloved characters and it comes with such a vast history. It's very difficult to kind of just be okay with something okay when you want these characters to be the best thing you've ever seen in the world. And again, Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni proved that that could be done. with what they did with Mandalorian and the incredible guest sequences with Luke Skywalker and things like that. So it was incredible. So again, I just feel that they should have built up, had a shocking, incredible, fun sequence here with the reuniting of the battle. But he had the opportunity. Here's boom, mistake number 5 or whatever we're up to. I don't even know anymore. But I mean, one of the big mistakes that they made over here is when Obi-Wan has the opportunity to actually kill Vader. And he says to him, he says, "You did not kill me. I killed Anakin," he says. Vader says he killed his good side, right? That was a cool sequence. That was nice. I liked the little things that they implemented there. But that being said, Obi-Wan could have killed Darth Vader right there and stopped the whole entire war from happening. He could have saved everybody just by killing Vader there, yet he doesn't kill him. Once again, just like in Episode 3, he walks away not finishing the job, which of course only made Vader get stronger and worse and more powerful and destroy that entire world that Princess Leia came from. Honestly, if you really think about it with the Star Wars canon and the vast history of it, if Obi-Wan actually just killed Vader when he had the freaking opportunity in this episode, then everybody from, Princess Leia's planet would have survived. Instead of it completely, I mean, that's billions of people that were killed, right? So by Obi-Wan sparing him, again, a second time, look what happened. It's a terrible thing. I understand the first time he thought he died, but this time he knew he wasn't dying. He knew he's letting him get away. That's crazy. So these are big gaping holes here. What they should have done is had Obi-Wan give his best, but somehow, gets blocked or Darth Vader escapes or something like that. But it shouldn't have been that he had the opportunity to actually finish him and let him get away. That's crazy, because showing mercy for this one evil person, at that time he was evil, he's Darth Vader, right? Let billions of people die according to the lore of Star Wars. So that's another big gaping error and problem. And as you can see right here in this clip, he totally could have killed him right here. Vader was weak, but he's all sympathetic and he just walks away. I mean, he literally just says goodbye, Darth, and walks away and leaves him to attack for another day. And boy, does Darth Vader attack. I mean, he destroys everything. I mean, had Obi-Wan just killed him right there, he never would have cut off Luke's hand. He never would have, killed Luke's aunt and uncle. Of course, Hayden Christensen did an incredible job. I thought that, Ewan McGregor did a great job. I love the incredible performance by that little cute actress who's playing young Princess Leia. Isn't she adorable? What a little sweetheart. And she's very good as Princess Leia as a little child, so I believe that. I believe it. I thought it's also weird, though, and awkward at the end when young Leia sees Obi-Wan survived and she runs up and hugs her little robot flying disc droid thing instead of him. And then also it doesn't connect to A New Hope when she screams to Luke, it's too late for the old man. Come on, Luke, let's go. You know what I'm saying? Like acting like she didn't know him or acting like she had no emotion toward him, even though he says to her as a little girl here, we must pretend we don't know each other or something like that. It still just seemed awkward to me. It doesn't fit for A New Hope, because she should have, obviously, if she knew him as a child, she should have been very, oh my God, Obi-Wan, it's you. And, it should have been a much more kind of empathic moment there. But she was very militant and kind of lacked empathy for Obi-Wan being killed by Darth Vader in A New Hope, which was normal for that. But when you add this series, the Kenobi series, where she does have a connection with Obi-Wan, it makes it like not fit as well. And of course, last but not least, the incredible, wonderful cameo appearance of Liam Neeson back as Qui Gon Jinn, which was an absolute pleasure to see. But boy, oh boy, did they make it obvious that it was coming. In every episode, he's like, please, Master Qui-Gon, where are you? Please, please. So it's no surprise when he finally shows up, because they blew it by having him say it over and over and over and over and over and over. It's way too much setup. Now, I really like this scene here where he meets Luke and he gives him the little spaceship to fly around that connects to episode, A New Hope, episode 4. I think that was a cute little get-together. So, of course, this plays on nostalgia and it really, tugs at our heartstrings. But I think any true Star Wars fan like myself who actually saw it in the movie theater when I was 2 years old, one of my first memories, I was like 2.5 years old, and I remember the title screen launching, and it was just a big thrill for me to see that. But the original Star Wars, you know, A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi is such a masterpiece. And I also think Rogue One deserves to be in that category. It was a spectacular film that in no way negatively affected the franchise. Excellent. As well as Mandalorian. So that's a perfect connection there. The other series has been kind of, I don't know, Obi-Wan Kenobi and Book of Boba Fett. These are kind of messing around a little bit too much with it. The Solo film, I thought that was kind of, again, you know, they're messing around with it because they're trying to, you know, make the likeness of the characters consistent just by bringing back Luke Skywalker and Mandalorian and stuff. I thought, like I said earlier, to be able to take Obi-Wan's face, he gets burnt in that fire, move that to the last episode, and then at the very end he takes off the hood and he looks like Alec Guinness, and he did like some reconstructive surgery, just like they did with Luke Skywalker when he actually had a real accident, you know, Mark Hamill, and then that's why his face looks different from in Empire Strikes Back, from A New Hope. You could see that the change in the surgery that was done, so they put him in that big isolation tank chamber where he's recovering and healing. They wrote that into the story. You know, so it fit perfectly to explain after he was, you know, hurt why he looks slightly different. They could have done that here to make the continuity of how Ewan McGregor becomes Alec Guinness much more written into the story. That's why I wish, you know, I had the opportunity to like really improve these scripts and punch them up. I mean, I spent so much of my life studying people like Sid Field, who taught James Cameron, you know, how to write screenplays, and, you know, there's a plethora of amazing, you know, writers and how to write screenplays and things that I really felt, you know, helped me become a better storyteller, a better writer, and I hope my new scripts will show that, and you know, as I release new comic books and superheroes in the future. So I just finished the screenplay for Ravidactyl and the screenplay for Codename Justice and Tricity. I have to edit that next, but you know, these are like over 120 pages each, and I wrote probably 100 drafts before finalizing the one for like Ravidactyl and things. So these are all these are beloved new characters that I hope will you know, see the light of day soon, and I hope that my work can be seen in that. And I try to watch also Pitch Meeting. I've seen almost every single episode of that with Ryan George, and it really, he points out all the mistakes in these things, and boy, does it make you a better freaking screenplay writer. It makes you a better scripter, you know, it really does, if you pay attention, and you have to be a great editor for your own work. So anyway, guys, that's what I think was wrong with Obi-Wan Kenobi. Otherwise, I liked it. I liked seeing it. I liked seeing how everything came together. Yes, there were some flaws and things, and it wasn't done as great as I believe Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni could have done it, but I still think it was nice to see. It was, I know a lot of people were saying it felt almost like a fan film with a high budget. If you haven't seen Fix It in Post, Fix It in Post, as in FX It in Post, boy, did they do a killer job redoing, you know, the fight sequence from A New Hope between Alec Guinness as Obi-Wan Kenobi and Dave Prowse as Darth Vader, who I had the honor to work with. I actually cast him as my supervillain Sunder, which was so great. We won the New York International Film and Video Film Festival for that short film that I had done, which was Ravidactyl Life Beyond Death, which was great, and he played that character, and it was great to actually draw him in the comic as well, and things. So I hope to honor him. You know, with that was great. I had other videos about that if you want to see my Dave Prowse tribute. It was also awesome to meet Mark Hamill again. I saw him at a comic book convention when I was 8 years old, and I really thought it was Luke Skywalker. I was like, oh my God, you're Luke Skywalker. You flew in from Endor to come to this comic convention here, Creation Con. And he's like, shh, don't tell anybody, kid. And we took like little old, you know, home videos of that together, which was awesome. So guys, that was my story there, and it was awesome to run into Mark Hamill again at Comic-Con, and he was actually holding my actual comic book, which was a thrill a few years ago, so that was dope. Anyway, guys, see more at beyondcomics.tv. Make sure to post your comments below and let me know if you love this series. Did you hate the series? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? I thought those little things that I could have been fixed up very easily, and it's A shame that they didn't repair those things, but all in all, it was nice to see everybody back, and it was a good kind of reunion. So anyway, guys, as they say in comics, to be continued. Please make sure to follow and subscribe. And again, that Obi-Wan scene, you know, where they fit in Qui Gon Jinn, I just thought they kind of fit him in at the last second. It wasn't like a wow, like he should have appeared as a magical moment to help him survive, maybe when he was being buried under the rubble. They just had so many missed opportunities, in my opinion. But that's what I think, guys. Let me know your 2 cents, and as they say in comic books, to be continued. Follow, subscribe, like, peace.